We all just witnessed the Los Angeles Rams defeat the Chicago Bears on the road 20-17 in overtime.
Remember, the Achilles heel for this team offensively last year was the inability to protect the quarterback. Caleb's rookie season, he was sacked 68 times. Correct me if I'm wrong, JJ, that was the most in the National Football League, right? So they revamped the offensive line.
At Seattle versus Sam Darnold, taking his magic act up to the great Northwest. And now I'm just left flat, lifeless, pretty much devastated, like the
turnover in overtime that ended up costing Chicago.
Yeah, and you raise a good point, because the Rams get it. They went 3 and out and gave it right back to Chicago. So you thought all the momentum was with Caleb Williams and the Bears, and they are marching down the field.
Stop everything, because what happened at Soldier Field was not just a loss. It was a warning flare for the future of the Chicago Bears. The Bears are going home, and right now millions of fans are asking one soul-crushing question. Did Caleb Williams just throw away their Super Bowl dream? Not their playoff run, not their season, their dream, the one they attached to a generational talent and a #1 overall pick who was supposed to end decades of quarterback misery. Before we break this whole thing down, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, because we cover the real story behind the stats and the emotions behind the tape. Because Sunday night was not a normal playoff game. This was the moment, the franchise savior moment. Chicago hosted the Los Angeles Rams and lost 20-17 in overtime. The Rams walked into Soldier Field and ripped the heart out of the city, then punched their ticket to the NFC Championship game in Seattle. And Caleb Williams, the face of the future, threw 3 interceptions in the biggest game of his young career. Let us rewind, because the final moments of regulation were the most dramatic snapshot of the Caleb Williams experience you will ever see. Brilliant, impossible, and then tragically flawed. 4th and 4, 18 seconds left, down 7, season on the line. The stadium is holding its breath, and Caleb Williams does something that should not be possible. He retreats, not 5 yards, not 10. He runs backward 27 yards from the line of scrimmage. 27. The pocket is dead. The play is dead. The Rams are closing. Everyone in the stadium knows it is over. Everyone except Caleb. He turns, he plants, and from the 41-yard line, falling away with defenders in his face, he launches a missile to the back corner of the end zone, and Cole Kmet somehow comes down with it.
It's just absolutely absurd, just the ability, the physical ability, and you mentioned arm talent, to make a throw like that. And so
the crowd explodes. Chicago believes. This is why they drafted him. This is the magic. This is the reason Bears fans have been watching other teams have fun for decades while Chicago plays survival football. Touchdown, tie game, overtime. The dream is alive. And then came the nightmare. Overtime starts and the Rams go 3 and out. Chicago gets the ball back with momentum and the whole stadium can feel the ending. This is the script. This is the home playoff win that becomes a championship run. The Bears move the ball. They cross midfield. They're 15 yards away from field goal range. 15 yards. 1 first down, and Joshua Carty is coming out to send the Bears to Seattle. 2nd and 8 from the Rams' 48. Caleb has time. Protection holds. He is surveying the field. DJ Moore is running across. Rome Odunze is working. Luther Burton is involved. Multiple options, a clean pocket, a moment where you just make the simple throw and live to fight for the win. And then he throws it. Not a rocket, not a laser. He guides it, almost like a soft toss into the deep right flat toward DJ Moore as Moore runs across the formation. Cam Curl reads it the entire way. He is sitting on it. He is in better position than the receiver, and he picks it off. Game over, season over, Super Bowl dream over. You could feel the electricity go out in Chicago like somebody pulled the power cord out of the wall. Here's the brutal truth the Bears have to live with. Caleb Williams threw 3 interceptions in this game, 3 turnovers at home against a Rams team that did not turn it over once, not one.
Turnover in overtime that ended up costing Chicago.
Yeah, and you you raise a good point because the Rams get it. They went 3 and out and gave it right back to Chicago. So you thought all the momentum was with Caleb Williams and the Bears, and they are marching down the field until he makes that throw that ends up being an interception.
Yeah, and you said it in the highlight, and I think it's exactly true. On that play, Caleb Williams is trying to work Burden to his right. His eyes initially start to Burden. He's kind of getting jammed on his release.
The Bears' defense led the NFL in takeaways during the season and could not force Matthew Stafford into a single mistake. The turnover battle was 3-0 in a playoff game at home with an NFC Championship spot on the line. You are not winning that game. You cannot win that game. The first interception made this loss feel even crueler. First quarter, Bears are driving. In the red zone, a chance to set the tone. Caleb fires to Rome Odunze at the goal line. It hits Odunze in both hands. Catchable ball. He drops it. Next play, interception. And to make it worse, there was blatant hands to the face on the play that went uncalled. No flag, no review, nothing. Just Chicago watching momentum die in real time. But the reason this loss is turning into a full-blown debate is not just that Caleb threw picks, it's the kind of quarterback he is right now. Caleb Williams is better on impossible throws than routine ones. Think about that. Let it sink in. The 27 yards backward miracle, he makes it. The fadeaway missile, he makes it. The off-platform magic that looks like a video game, he makes it. But 2nd and 8 in overtime with a clean pocket, he throws a pick that ends the season.
It's weird because the way Caleb plays, like even last week, it didn't look pretty, right? But he found a way to get it done. And he makes these crazy special plays. And this is why he went #1 pick, because he has that type of talent. His ceiling is so high, and he's still a young dude.
That is the Caleb Williams paradox. This season, he finished dead last in the NFL in completion percentage at 58%. In the playoff win over Green Bay, he was at 50%. He'll throw 4 or 5 balls a game where you stare at the screen and say, what was that? What did he see? Then he follows it with the greatest clutch throw you've ever witnessed. That's why this hurts so much, because the ceiling is obvious, it's insane, but the floor is still showing up at the worst possible times. Now let's talk about the overtime interception, because that's where the argument gets spicy. Was it Caleb? Was it DJ Moore? Was it a miscommunication? Was it a design issue? Was it just a great play?
But with the way he's running, he's letting you, like, he's telling you, like, dog, this. A lot of times you see wide receivers taking off like that, you're thinking all around, oh yeah, he must be clearing something out for somebody.
On film, it looks like the Rams are in cover 3. DJ Moore appears to be running a clear-out route. The idea is to pull the post safety and open up the vertical receiver behind him. It's the kind of Ben Johnson design meant to beat that coverage. But Caleb throws it like DJ Moore is the primary target. DJ Moore looks shocked the ball is coming to him, like he was never supposed to be the guy on that throw. Cam Curl tracks it like it's his route, like the ball was delivered straight to him.
His depth, the ball probably, if you're not being aggressive, should come to the flat right there. But instead, Caleb gets his eyes back to the middle of the field. And with a middle of the field safety, he's thinking, okay, this inside clear route should pull it out. And now this over route, I can throw across the field.
And here's what makes it even worse. This is the 2nd straight week of critical miscommunications between Caleb and his receivers in the playoffs. Last week against Green Bay, there was another breakdown. It's week 20 and the mental errors are still showing up. That's concerning. That is not talent. That is timing, chemistry, system clarity. And that's exactly what Ben Johnson has to fix in year 2. Now zoom out, because this season still mattered. The Bears were 3 plays from the NFC Championship game. 3 plays. In this game, they went 3 for 6 on 4th down, and every time they failed, it was because they took the ball out of Caleb's hands. When they let him decide, when they let him create, he kept them alive. 4th and 4 at the end of regulation was a touchdown. The failed 4th downs where they tried to run it failed again and again. This is a 24-year-old quarterback in his 2nd NFL season who led the...
You have to keep the ball in Caleb's hands. Every time Caleb had the ball in his hands on 4th down, something good to great happened.
He set a franchise record for passing yards. He brought swagger back to Chicago. He made Sundays matter again. And the team around him is better than people want to admit.
This was just a misfire. I know Chris Collinsworth was blaming subtly.
The offensive line went from allowing 68 sacks in Caleb rookie year, which was most in the NFL, to just 24 this season. That's a massive leap. The offense has weapons: DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burton, Cole Kmet, and also Colston Loveland as another tight end threat. They have a running game with Khalil Herbert and DeAndre Swift that can keep you balanced. And the defense, even with injuries, still led the league in takeaways. This is not a team that overachieved. This is a team that is arriving. But here's the cold reality. You cannot win in January turning the ball over 3 times. You cannot beat playoff teams with a 58% completion rate. You cannot advance making critical mental errors in critical moments. Caleb has all the talent, arm strength, mobility, clutch gene, the it factor that makes you believe anything is possible. But now he has to master the layups. Right now, he can hit logo threes, half-court shots, the impossible. Now he has to master the routine, the boring throws, the simple completions that keep drives alive and keep your defense resting.
Caleb, can you do the basic?
You know, and that's crazy. Like you can shoot threes and half-court joints, but a little layup off the backboard is tough for him sometimes, right?
Because the Rams made the plays when it mattered. Stafford, with all his experience, did not flinch. Puka Nacua came through on a key 3rd and 6. Devontae Adams works the sideline in big moments. The veteran quarterback found ways to win without giving the game away. Caleb will get there. He's too gifted not to. But Sunday night was not his night. Sunday night was the night the inconsistency caught up to him at the highest stakes. So now Chicago has to sit in the pain all offseason with one question playing on a loop.
What does that do for everybody else?
There's a couple things that stick out to me kind of in that regard in terms of the having some gray in his beard, right? And so, the first half, there were protection issues. So either, he got fooled, he was sliding the protection a certain way and he got blitzed. Kyron Williams, busted a pass pro assignment one time.
Yeah.
They had a time, the tackle didn't fan out when he should have. And oftentimes that can create a little bit of a doubt for a quarterback because you're getting hit.
Right.
One time Brisker, just absolutely blasts him when he thinks he's protected. And so I think in those moments for younger quarterbacks, then it kind of swallows you in a game.
What if he doesn't throw that overtime pick? What if he makes the routine throw instead of guiding it? What if the magic that kept saving them all season doesn't run out at the worst possible time? Seattle was waiting. The Super Bowl road was right there. The dream was alive. Then it wasn't. Caleb Williams giveth and Caleb Williams taketh away. That's the reality Bears fans are waking up to today, and it hurts like hell.